She tripped me. Yeah, dude, my entire fucking shield is gone in one hit. Hate this one. Oh my god, there's this explosions everywhere. Never mind, we're good. Okay, at least I got like the thingy back. Oh wait, she's stunned though. Good, good, good.
Fury of Frost.
Dude, I have no fucking mana. Rip mana, dude. Hello, welcome back to the updated update of the update video. So we have finally reached the maps. It is time to talk about early map progression and how is stuff working. The character is still super strong, he's still melting bosses pretty fast. It's decently tanking depending on your gear. And as you can see, I have moved my camera around, so my big thick head won't be in the way of the skills, so look forward to that. No more complaints on that part. So let's dive in straight into the skills themselves. So we are still running Ice Strike as our main skill. As you can see here, we are only running with actually 4 skills. This is the same thing. So we are only running 4 skills now. I'm a big fan of not spamming too many buttons, even though you can definitely add some more. Right now this is what we are running with. So Ice Strike first. This one didn't really change. Attack speed, weapon elemental damage, so primal armament. Close combat, this one is very mana intensive. As you can see, cost multiplier is 140%, and we have here Cold Infusion. This one doesn't cost, so if you are having struggle, this is something like how it should look like, right? You can add like this 3 right now. If you don't have a rage generation on the build, I have it through the gem. So you would put rage instead of either close combat or cold infusion, depending like how many sockets you got. So early level you would go with something like martial tempo, either primal armaments or cold infusion. If you don't put primal armaments in, you can just go like a martial tempo, cold infusion and rage, and put primal armaments on your belt. That's pretty much it. Right, so charge infusion, this is I'm gonna talk about charge infusion as a very last thing, because this was recently added. So we are gonna go for the rest of the build. So Tempest Bell is our second main ability. So what we got here is Expanse, so area of effect. Bit larger area of effect than the normal area of effect, but it has a 6-second cooldown, which is totally fine. You can totally add like a normal area of effect. I'm not even sure if I'm even using it on anything. I think it's on Herald. But either way, you do that. Font of Mana, this is a new thing I started using. You won't have that many issues early with Ice Strike, because like you don't have that many things on it. But once I started adding like things like close combat, the mana was insane. Like I'm having a huge mana issues. I have like 0 mana. I have 0 mana leech on my actual gear. If you get like rings with just 1 physical leech to mana, it would be like absolutely amazing. Try to look for that. I don't have it, so I had to sort through the 3. I'm gonna show you like a few ways you can do it. So that is pretty much for that. So Tempest Bell, Expanse, Font of Mana, and Heavy Swing. You can change this one for Rage Forged. So you can put Rage Forge on. So the bell itself is gonna cost 10 rage, but it's gonna deal 35% more damage. This one is great. Like I said, it's very easily added because if we are generating rage quite easily with this build, so that ain't a problem. And you have like a 6-second cooldown on top of that, so they kind of fit in all together. As long as you're hitting the boss, because it's primarily like for the bossing, right? This one is primarily for the bossing, because if you keep hitting, your rage won't fall off, and that's pretty much it. Alright, so let's get back to the rest of the gear. So, Shattering Palm. Shattering Palm, so we have Glaciation, more freeze buildup, and we have Ice Bite on this one. This is how we proc the Ice Bite. You have option to put like Ice Bite if you want on Ice Strike, since you're doing like a lot of damage on that one, or maybe on actually no, put it on a Herald of Ice is also a good option. I prefer it here, that's about it. There isn't really too much to it. Like I'm spamming Shattering Palm because it's doing so much AoE on its own, and I have Cold Exposure on it. Preferably, I would like Cold Exposure to somewhere else. You can always run like the Ice Bombs that can spread like Cold Exposure on its own. By the way, like we won't really need this one later on once we get the final Ascendancy, but considering how difficult it is to get it, especially as a melee right now, like I wouldn't like count on it anytime soon. Okay, so Combat Frenzy pretty much the same. This is how we like generate our Frenzy charges. So we get like additional charge. I put like Vitality in, that's about it, just to have like more regen. And the Herald of Ice, I'm not even running anything here, I didn't even see that. But yeah, like what you want is Magnified. So yeah, you have like Area of Effect here, Elemental Focus as well. You don't really need, you can put like any of the utility stuff like Flask, Charge, Generation on this if you have like Spirit. That's this one is still, it's good on its own, right? Like this one is pretty much just like the aura running. So like adding more damage is not really that important on it. And now we come for our defensive layer, which is a Wind Dancer. So we get each stage we get like more evasion. Since we are evasion based build, this one's pretty good. I have just like clarity on it. I mean, honestly, I can just put clarity here. It's literally totally fine. That's about it. So for Wind Dancer, I'm not really sure. Like we don't really have too many options when it comes to like our buffs right now, because most of the big ones are already like taken, and we don't have literally like infinite reservations, so we have to keep in mind the Spirit. But yeah, the most important ones is to have like here to add just the Profusion on this one, which doesn't even cost anything. So Clarity, if you can add Clarity, is primary, and like Vitality as a secondary, it costs 20 Spirit. We'll talk about like Spirit and how you can get it in a bit. So that is it for all the skills. Oh yeah, and the Charge Staff. I changed a bit of things here. I added Persistence, mainly because I want it to last as long as possible, right? We have like 6 charges, I think, right now, so it's lasting like 50-something seconds all together. Perpetual Charge, so it doesn't consume the charge, and Conduction, so I can shock easily. Ideally, I'll try to see, most likely gonna try, I'm trying to incorporate like Culling into the build, so it's probably gonna try to either Charge Staff or Tempest Bell. Most likely it's gonna be those two, because we are not using the Killing Palm anymore, so we don't really have a way to Culling Strike. I'll look into it, like how we're gonna do something about that, because I don't have the sockets right now, so it doesn't really matter. And that is it for the skills. As you can see, they didn't really change all that much. That part stayed the same, except like we got much more, like we are much more aura oriented. So let me see, which one did I miss? Oh yeah, so this is the final one. Charge Infusion, if you can afford it, that's another 30 Spirit. It's up to you if you want to take this one. If you don't, there is like few other options you can take. I removed, as you can see, I don't have Glacial Cascade. You can definitely grab Glacial Cascade as your ranged option if you're struggling at the beginning of the maps, right? If your physical defense is not up right now, because like if you see mine right now, it's at 67%, my evasion 75. This can be much better. That is because of our Ascendancy. But yeah, if you're feeling that you're taking like way too much damage, like spiking a lot, you can just remove this one and just add Glacial Cascade and use the same skills as I did in a previous video. And that's about it. Alright, now the gear. This is probably where the most changes has happened. So I'm gonna go slowly like what we did. Well, I wouldn't say like changes, but there is like one important thing, considering that Our Ascendancy, which I should probably like mention first, so you know what I'm talking about. So like we changed, as you can see here, I dropped the Unbound Avatar. I'm not even sure if I'm gonna take it again. I'm leaning more towards grabbing the critical hits, ignore, and non-negative enemy monster elemental resists, which would make us not need any of the stuff that I took on a 3 for the cold penetration. But yeah, let's get back to the evasion. So physical damage reduction from armor is based on your combined armor and evasion rating. That means since we are not running armor anywhere on this build, unless you get like a boots or something like you know, the hybrid part, but we are staying away from the armor itself, so we are heavily leaning into the evasion part. That is the first part. The second part is the fact that we get spirit for every 15 evasion rating and 1 spirit for every 6 energy shield on equipped body armor. This is very important part. Remember the nodes that we took here? This one over here, increased evasion rating equipped from equipped body armor. We get 100% more evasion from that. And then I took the node over here where we get 1 maximum energy shield per 12 evasion per equipped body armor. So essentially we are getting both energy shield, armor, evasion, everything in a single piece of equipment. What that means is any currency you got once you reach the maps should go towards your chest piece, and this is something that you want to look for. Your chest piece, like mine, is not really that good. I got lucky actually. Like I got lucky with it didn't roll too bad, but what we want is like as high as possible evasion rating. So you want to put both of the sockets in for the evasion rating yourself, and you want to get as high as possible flat evasion. I think this one rolled with like 900 on its own, and everything. Once I added quality and everything, it ended up with 1.4k almost, which is good. But yeah, like my next upgrade is gonna go, like all my currency is gonna go towards my chest piece if I don't find one myself. As I said, like I got lucky with finding this one. So yeah. You want as high as possible. Don't worry about too much on your resists on your chest piece if you're on a budget, okay? Because whenever you keep adding resistances or like higher life, the prices of like evasion chest pieces, which are like 1.5k or 2k evasion, are very expensive. So try to just look something like 1.4. As you can see, mine is totally fine right now. With everything on the tree that I have, we are running at 67% armor and 5% evasion. As I said, I'm trying to get the 2k one now, so that's the first thing I want to change. So yeah, make sure that that is your priority. This is where your survivability comes from. It's a single piece that gives you like most of it. So if I removed it, like everything just tanks. I'm not even looking at resistance, I'm just looking for armor and evasion. Everything comes like from that single thing. Also, our energy shield went from 385 to 621, right? So big difference there. Energy shield is not our primary. It's just to like protect us from those big hits that we do take, so they don't actually like one tap you. I never actually got like super one tapped. It was usually like and like on hit, and you know, after that explosions and those flower chaos one, because my chaos resistance is non-existent. That is pretty much the only thing that usually kills me. But yeah, like boss stuff, I'm usually fine. I don't think I'm actually dying on the like rare enemies exploding rather than the actual boss fights. So that is pretty much it on that. Now let's get to the rest of the gear. My weapon is absolutely insane on physical damage. Everything else is absolutely horrible. So this is what you want to look for in a weapon. Very high physical damage roll, and so double physical roll is what you need. Like this is mandatory. Ideally you want to have like a crit and attack speed, and you can add like melee skills. Plus 5 to melee skills would be insane. Like that one would like be such a huge damage boost, especially like after level 20 all those skills get as higher a level go, they get exponentially like harder to hit, which also increases their mana, which is another problem. But hey, you do more damage, okay? You do more damage. Mana Leech is, I guess you can roll Mana Leech on that. I would prefer to have it on like on the rings. As you can see, I don't have anything on the rings themselves. Like my next big piece that I crafted myself and I'm very happy about is my gloves. My gloves are super good. So the only thing here, that added flat physical could be changed. Like I would prefer to have like attack speed on this one, but plus 2 to melee skills is great. So you want like a double resist life, and I would prefer evasion base everywhere if you can. As I said, I'm not really into like all this energy shield. We're gonna get most of it from our chest piece anyway. And that is it. Like try to look for double res, high life, and all the stuff like attack speed is huge. +2 to level to all melee skills is also huge. So you have like options. Like a flat rolls are okay as well. You can get mana leech I think on gloves as well. So there's that one. So my belt pretty much same, life, double resistance. This is throughout your gearing process for early maps is you want to look for double res that are like around decent, like 20% each plus high life roll. Everything else that you get is like a bonus. Like this one is like a budget options right now because I didn't really like bother like buying too many gear. Like I did buy this one, it didn't cost me like maybe like 6 or 5 exalts, I don't know. But yeah, it's not really that expensive compared to like what I need to upgrade it. Like if you're looking for chaos res, then like the prices go like 10 times up. So keep that in mind. For the boots, yeah, this is probably like the second thing you would want to like spend some money on. As you can see, mine are really not that great. They just have I'm literally just looking for like high movement speed and high life roll plus at least one resistance. Ideally, I would like to have like double resist. I could probably like try to find, maybe now they're gonna be a bit cheaper. But yeah, like you want to like 30% movement speed. Remember, we are a melee class, so movement speed means like a whole lot more to us than to the ranged ones. Because we have to be in there and get out of there quickly. And for the rings, my rings are absolutely, like this one is okay, like, but they're horrible. Like I need to change. They're very difficult to get, very expensive to get. So usually for rings, you're gonna have to craft them yourself. That is pretty much it. This one I got a bit more lucky because it has like a double res down there plus the implicit is fire res. So also what a cool thing you can do once you reach the maps, you see how it says like quality modifier. So you want to look for the ring that have the same. If you hover over it, you see how this one says like here it has like a elemental fire resistance on this modifier. It says fire. It says here fire damage as well. Is like a fire modifier, all these like fire modifiers that you see. So what you can do is you enter and let me look for it. You are looking for these kind of catalysts. I don't think I have one for fire now, or maybe I do. Alright, so adds quality that enhances the fire modifier. So what this essentially does, you can increase basically the fire, all the fire modifiers on a single item by like stacking that quality fire resistance. These catalysts you get from my favorite activity in the game, which is breaches. I absolutely love breaches. This build is great for breaching, so you will get a bunch of these in the breaches. So once you get like a good ring, as I said, as long as it has like the same tags, so you look for fire modifier, lightning, ice, whatever. Once it has like a good stack of the same ones, because this one has like 3 fire things. Because fire damage, don't really use it, but for future, like this is gonna be a very good ring though. So fire, if you can get double fire resistance, just drop some quality on it. This is like easy way to fix like if you're missing a bit of a fire resistance, right? And that is pretty much it. Like my neck, also absolutely horrible. Like this one I'm trying to get rid of for such a long time, but since as I said, like getting double resistance amulet is also very expensive with a good life roll. My helmet is actually pretty good, decent. This is like one of those things that I'm happy about for now. It has like a high life roll, it has like double cold and lightning, and it has like a decent chaos resistance. So this one is probably gonna be the one that I'm gonna like replace the last. And remember, you want to socket every single piece of your gear with like resistances to help you out, except the chest piece. Chest piece, as I said, like forget your chest piece, don't build resistance around the chest piece. If you can find some, great, but what you're looking for is like very high evasion, and try to look for like heavy like life, and maybe like a chaos resist, right? Because the chest piece you're gonna be replacing the least, because as I said, like you need very high flat rolls, which take like pretty much all the top part of the actual chest piece, so the prefix stuff. And yeah, like you really want to focus on getting that one. As I said, if you get the chest piece that you can try to slam yourself, it's probably better. Like I can always try to like reroll the suffixes myself. There is like a way to craft, which is very expensive, but that comes later. I said like flat, look for flat evasion. Everything else doesn't matter. And that is pretty much it for the gear itself. As I said, for the charms, you want to use either a stunned, freeze, or a chaos one, depending on your needs. For the maps, try to avoid the ones that add like +2 chaos damage, because those are the one absolutely destroy me the most. because like my chaos is only like 22. You keep losing the fire, lightning, and cold resist as you go higher in tier of the maps. So my highest tier now is like 11, I think, and as you can see, they are not really like capped anymore. They used to be, they are not anymore. Gear is done, and let's get back to the actual skills. So skill tree did have some changes. As I said, like the skill tree keeps evolving, so I pretty much respect out of everything here right now. So if you watched my earlier videos about it, don't worry, like you can still totally use those. Respecking at this point in the game is really not that big of an issue, alright? Because I have like a lot of gold. You are not respecting all that much, to be honest, because the main point was to connect this part. Once you connected the top with this middle one, and you need it because you need resonance anyway, so you were like only needing like a couple points that you can connect. Once you connect this, you can pretty much remove everything that you had here, absolutely everything. So what we left, the final part, was the blinding strike, so blind on attacks and pretty good attack damage here, so that one is very good. Everything else like at this point stayed the same. So what we are doing here, let's get back to the previous where I said that if you're having a mana issues, this is one of the way to start slowing them early. So you have like this cluster over here, reduce mana cost, mana regen, and 8% remove. So this one gives you 16% mana cost reduction on the skills. You have that one. You also have one on the actual tree themselves. Let me see, where was it again? I know it was here. Alright. Actually, no. You have the option here to recover mana on kill and more mana leached. I would have probably taken these two nodes instead of this if I had like mana leech on my gear. Since I don't, well, I can't. I will soon have a written guide as well, but you will have to use this one for the reference for the written guide, right? Yeah, let's get back to the stuff. So the way that you want to approach it, like once you like start re-rolling stuff right from here, all of these points, the way that I started like removing them. Oh yeah, we also removed like if you shocked the enemy recently, I removed this node. We don't really need it. Altogether, we're gonna be removing these points as well. That is gonna be for the very final part of the tree. But yeah, like once you get these things connected, your priority is to get a spectral ward. Just to get this one is just to get like more like defensive layer very early. Like I'm not really sure if you're gonna really need it all that much later on, but I mean it's free energy shield, and it's you get like a pretty decent boost out of this, like this evasion nodes, so they don't really hurt you. So yeah, once you connect this one, since we are dropping the penetration from Frost over here, we want to grab your first priority is to get this cold pen nodes over here. So we got 15 here, 6 here, and we have 6 here. So this is like the only cold pen you're gonna have right now, and you're gonna have like cold exposure from like freezing palm as well. And that is pretty much it. Once you focus on that one, once you got this evasion node, and once you got this one, you slowly start like filling out the rest of like the power charges. So I went with this one first. So this power charge is here, so you get like more critical damage. Then we have like the power charges over here as well, which I'm gonna get +1. Once we are finished with that one, we are gonna finish the crit node over here. And one more thing that is very important is like going all the way up here and grabbing this one. Reduced cost of skills and like more attack speed. Attack speed is huge. But primarily why I want this one, this jewel socket is gonna prove to be the most strong jewel socket in the entire build that we have right now. Why? Because it's gonna be like if you get a good range, there is this like timeless jewels. I didn't know about this one until I got until I finished my ascendancy. Like so, these time lost ones are very strong. So with the way that they work, so you can see like small passive skills in a radius grant 2 physical damage. Those don't affect these nodes, but it affects all these like small nodes. So as you can see, like that global physical damage. We get it here, right? It increases physical damage. Then we have the medium ones, which is like this one all like very bad though. Small passive skills grant increased the damage with maces, like that was useless for us. But I'm just I took it mainly for the rage on hit. So the big ones, so we are not talking about this one, but we're talking about this one, right? These notables. Each one of these is giving me +1 to rage on melee hit. And that is how I'm getting my rage back without having to have the skill, like a rage hit, rage skill on my actual bars, on the skill slots. And this one we only have 2 here. If I would put this one, okay, I can just show it right now. If I remove it from there, and if we would go like all the way up here, you can see how many notables it reaches here. Since we are planning to get this one as well, it would get like one from there, it would get like one from here, and if it was like higher, because mine is like the lowest range, right? And if you could increase it, it would even get to point to grab this one, so I would get like even 4 rage. And then you have like option here to get even more evasion, which would give you like 5 rage, so stuff like that. And if the other things in the tree were also like mega strong, so you would get like bunch more like elemental damage. For example, I have this one here. Actually no, I don't think I actually equipped it. Where is it? Yeah, I don't think I actually equipped it. I have one for elemental damage and freeze build-up. So basically, like these sockets are gonna be mega valuable. This one also won't be like as bad once you get, because it can affect this one and this one over here, if you have like enough range. Yeah, with like medium range, I think you're gonna like have this one and this one as well. So yeah, time lost, like jewels are gonna be mega strong. You get this one, as I said, like from the end of trials, but considering like how annoying they are to do as a melee. Oh yeah, I want to mention, if you're gonna be doing the 3rd trial, right? Especially if you are doing the honor one, you want to play with the glacial cascade, okay? You will lose way too much honor, because like you remember getting hit like sucks absolutely. It's absolutely horrible, but we destroy all the bosses. Like final boss, I'm not even sure what mechanics he has, because like I just like froze him and killed him. I really don't know what he even does. But yeah, I used glacial cascades to avoid like losing too much honor. So that's the annoying part. As I said, you can totally opt out of this one at the beginning and go full defense once you reach the maps if you don't have your 3rd ascendancy, if you're struggling with survivability. If you're not, I suggest to not go fully in. You can like already drop the first one and get the free spirit if you don't have spirit on gear. Like you can drop this one altogether, and if you get like a high evasion one, you're gonna be like evasion capped easily. And that is pretty much it for the tree. Right? As I said, like it didn't really change all that much. We just kind of connected it differently, so it's like looking much nicer now. So yeah, I will have the written guide as well with the full tree and everything explained. But that is it for pretty much now as the state of the build. As I said, I'm level 81 now. We are doing like T10 maps at the moment. We are almost done with like completing tier 9s. I enjoy Breach a lot, so that is the more mechanic I'm like doing the most. Ritual is the second one I need to do. Like Ritual is a bit more rippy, because there is usually those on hit of like the explosion and stuff that there's always like so much chaos damage when I'm doing like anything related to Ritual. That's why I'm doing it, but I'm not really keen on spamming too much of it, because like my highest deaths would come from trying to do like the later rituals when there's like a bunch of mobs and there's way too many like screen effects that are affecting chaos, which absolutely deletes me like very fast. And that is it. If you have any questions, you can always drop it by my Twitch or my YouTube, where I'm streaming almost daily. I want to thank everybody as well for the huge support you guys shown me lately, like commenting and liking the videos and subscribing. It does mean a lot. We are almost at like 400 subscribers, I think, right now, so thank you very much for that. And yeah, I'm gonna have a written guide very soon, a couple of days. It won't be as detailed at the beginning, because I'm mostly focusing on trying to like finish everything in the game first. It takes like a lot of time to do all of that, so I will be doing a written guide which is gonna have like just the basics, what I explained here. But you always should use like these videos for the reference, because I'm trying to explain as much as I can in them. If you have any questions, as I said, like you can drop by. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'm gonna see you on the next one. Salute and bye.